Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just
speaking into the void?
But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The Wrecking Crew's finding shelter with a Nouvelle Vague, and a primate kangaroo's asking if this thing's really on. I'm Van Connor.
And I'm Adam Ball, and this is Off Screen, your 7-day guide to everything movies.
Boom.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Off Screen. We are back after a week away, and we were away last week because I had a migraine and I couldn't get my computer and it just didn't happen. So we are back with a handful of movies to look at this week.
We don't do return to work interviews here, Adam. Just put that out.
Well, I just thought I wanted to just justify and basically say it wasn't your fault we weren't here last week. It was all my fault.
I know, I sat through some right crap for nothing.
And you didn't even get to moan about it.
Yes, you knew what I sat through last week. I had to sit there. Oh man. Oh.
Well, this week we have got some I'm hoping absolute cool, because there's a few I'm looking forward to hearing about. Nouvelle Vague, which we were just talking about off air. We're going to look at that. Is this thing on? We've got Primate, we've got the Wrecking Crew, but we're going to start, as we always do, with the UK and Ireland box office top 10. So, at number 10, Van, Return to Silent Hill. It's been out for 1 week. And it's £579,000 already.
Now, this was not press shown. I have to stress this. This was not press. This is the third movie based on the Silent Hill video game series. Now, they are legendarily terrible, but they seem to have their fans. This is also done very well in China. But they didn't show it to press here. I mean, usually that tells you something about how bad a movie is. You'll notice this week, for instance, we are not reviewing the documentary Melania, which, for reasons that I can't possibly imagine, has been held back from the press. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but I'll let you do that. So, no, we can't comment on Return to Silent. I hope it's exactly as good/bad as the last one.
All right, well, that's at number 10. At number 9, Mercy. That's out. It's been out a week. That's on 612,000. I'm guessing you saw that one.
Well, no, we didn't get to talk about it on here, but I think you and I talked about it on BBC. Last week. This is the one that I described as Temu Minority Report. Like if you bought Minority Report on Temu, but it's Chris Pratt doing it. And it's the definition of a January movie. It's absolutely idiotic. Funny story, actually. The operator, because it's Chris Pratt's the cop who's on trial for murdering his wife, and he has 90 minutes to prove his innocence to an AI judge, played by Rebecca Ferguson. And the way this is presented, it was screened to us in 3D. This is presented using the Apple Vision OS operating system, despite the fact that this is an Amazon MGM production. So I don't know how they've quite gotten away with the legality of that. Weird thing, a few days after I saw that, in fact, the day after I reviewed it with you on BBC, I went to an Apple store and tried a Vision Pro and actually got to play with that operating system. I'm now actually a believer in that tech. It's worth noting. I could never, ever afford one. Only no sane person ever could. But I promise you that the 40 minutes I spent playing with an Apple Vision Pro were infinitely more intelligent and intellectual than the entire 100 or so minutes that make up Mercy, one of the stupidest movies. I'm not saying it's inherently bad, but it is just brain dead. It is so idiotic. This is something we're going to say about another film later on. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to make very much money. This is going to go to streaming very quickly on like Amazon Prime. And when you see it, you will understand why.
Okay, well, that's at number 9. At number 8, No Other Choice. It's been out for a week, which means we didn't review it last week. 612,000. Have you seen No Other Choice?
No, I didn't actually get to watch this. I didn't realise as well it was the new Park Chan-wook movie. And if ever there's a filmmaker like go and pay attention to, Park Chan-wook is one that made Stoker years ago. I bloody love Park Chan-wook. So I will be seeing this one, but I have not as yet.
At number 7, Saipan. I know you've seen that one, haven't you? That's 1 week, and it's doing all right. £772,000 already.
This is the most stupidly pointless movie I've seen all year. And bear in mind, I've just told you about Mercy. Do you know what Saipan's about? In fact, I think this is the other one we reviewed on BBC. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we review 2 every week on BBC, and we do this for the rest. Saipan is the movie about Roy Keane, going to training in 2002 for Ireland's World Cup team in Saipan. And basically the plot of this is he shows up, complains for 90 minutes, and gets sent home. There you go. I just saved you 91 boobless minutes. It's absolute garbage. I cannot understand. No, it's not garbage. It's not garbage, actually, because I wasn't unentertained by it. But it was just pointless. It was so thunderingly pointless. I cannot work out why the world needed to know the story.
Right, okay. Next then at number 6, Marty Supreme. Now this has been out for 5 weeks. This is just sitting over £13.5 million.
And I don't think it's very good, if I'm really honest. I mean, Timothée Chalamet will probably win the Oscar for this. He'll probably win the Best Actor Oscar. He's been nominated now, it's official. This is, I think, the 3rd front runner for the Oscars this year. I'm not sure if it ties with One Battle After Another, and Sinners is number 1. But yeah, Timmy's up for best actor, and they'll probably get it, if we're being honest, because we live in a godless universe and there's no such thing as merit. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pandering hipster waffle. I think it's 2.5 hours of my life I'd rather have been in Iraq. And no, I can't stand the film. I can't stand the kind of people who claim to like it either, if I'm being really honest, because they never actually give you a good qualified reason. It's garbage.
Zootopia 2 at number 5. 9 weeks now. I'm surprised this is still in cinemas, to be honest. But then when you look at the fact they've made 31.5 million quid, you can kind of see why.
Well, also, this is now an Oscar nominee for Best Animated Feature as well. Has to be nominated. This is basically this and K-pop Demon Hunters for Best Animated Feature. And K-pop Demon Hunters will likely win that, despite the fact that it doesn't qualify for Oscars, and yet they nominated it anyway. It's not a primarily theatrical release, and yet it's nominated for not 1, but 2 Oscars. Like, someone explain that to me, because it's nominated for Best Song as well. And again, it will win that. K-pop Demon Hunters will win 2 Oscars in 6 or so weeks' time, despite the fact that it should qualify for none. But Zootopia 2, or Zootropolis 2, whatever you call it, is perfectly fine, but it's just nowhere near as good a film as the first one. And when you've got a movie as good as the first one, which is to say basically animated Who Framed Roger Rabbit, doing a lackluster follow-up feels like sacrilege. So say it's the reason we never had a Roger Rabbit 2. You know, it's like, because why would you bother? You perfected it the first time. You're only going to let people down. And I think the second one very much does that here.
At number 4, your favourite movie of the year, Van, Avatar, Fire and Ash, 6 weeks, 40 million quid now.
Nominated for Best Visual Effects, and it will win. It will win. Because how are you going to give any visual effects award to any other movie when Avatar, Fire and Ash, regardless of whatever you think of the film, is nominated? Regardless of what you think of Avatar as a movie or as a series, the visual effects are very good. And I'm not talking about the Na'vi themselves. It's the subtle stuff. Like in the last movie, everyone made a big deal about the water effects. How the water like running over someone's hand, how it reacted with leather straps, like how real, photoreal that looked. And you've got a very similar thing this time around with fire, hence the clever title.
Well, that's at number 4. At number 3, and I'm going to see this on Saturday, 28 years later. Yeah, finally going to see it. The Bone Temple, 2 weeks it's been out now. It's sitting on nearly 6 million quid. I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I've not known anyone dislike it, to be fair. People who've gone to see it really love it. And, I mean, because I think it's a British institution, 28 days and 28 years. It's a British franchise. I mean, for lack of a better term, it's our Mad Max, really. It kind of comes close to being the British answer to how the Australians have Mad Max. And it treads very similar kind of territory in that it is about human darkness in the post-apocalypse. I don't think this is as good as 28 years later, the first one. Definitely don't think it's as good as 28 days, but it's better than Weeks, we'll say that, and it's still a damn good movie.
Hamnet is at number 2, 3 weeks, and just over 12 million on that one.
As I've said before, and now it's nominated, I can say with even more certainty, Jessie Buckley will win the Best Actress Oscar for this. watch. Very good movie. Very, very good movie. Very touching, very heartfelt, and an interesting Shakespeare story. I mean, I kind of knew the story to an extent. I knew about his son, etc. Wasn't quite sure that it fed into the grieving process quite the way this depicts, but I think quite a rousing drama, quite an interesting story, and a very thoughtful exploration of the differing methods of grief.
Number 1 this week, it's been out for 5 weeks, it's The Housemaid.
The Housemaid. Coincidentally, I don't know if you're aware, but Sydney Sweeney's lingerie line went on sale this week and sold out in about a day. So between bathwater, soap, and lingerie, and jeans apparently, there's nothing sitters can't sell, including this film, which is kind of a return to form after Christie. I think this is the kind of movie I like. This is a good old-fashioned, like, 90s style, for the adults, R-rated, trashy, psycho in the house chiller. And yeah, Sydney Sweeney, even though she doesn't get to be the psycho in this one, it's kind of painted as being Amanda Seyfried. You know, don't want to give you any spoilers beyond that. It is worth seeing. I would say this is like Gone Girl Light would be the best one. Diet Gone Girl, if you will.
Diet Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's this week's box office top 10 for the UK and Ireland. We're going to dive into our first movie, and I'm really interested to hear about this one, actually. I've seen the trailer for it. I really like it. It's called Kangaroo. Now, yeah, I'll let you take it away, Van. It just looks great.
Right, we're pushed for time, so I haven't got time to give this the thorough going over that I really want to. Right, an hour and 47 minutes long. Australian mishmash of sorts of Doc Hollywood and Fly Away Home. It's about a sort of disgraced news journalist. This is loosely based on a true story, by the way. Disgraced news journalist who sort of finds himself kind of cancelled for accidentally killing a dolphin on camera. He's driving through the outback in search of a story. Car breaks down after he hits a kangaroo and kills it, and then adopts the Joey, the kangaroo cub. Takes it with a sort of 10-year-old girl in the local village, the sort of backwater village, who instructs him on all the ways that he can look after these kangaroos. Have a listen, then I'm going to tear this to pieces.
It's been a long time coming.
You saved the Joey. You have to take care of her.
I don't know what to do. Charlie, she's special, isn't she? Why are you always running away from people who care about you?
She really looks up to you, you know.
Crikey.
We'll take it higher.
Have you ever driven a bus?
No.
Do you know anything about the local area?
No.
So what makes you think you're the right person for the job?
I have no life and I'm completely broke.
Welcome aboard.
See, I see this as a really cutesy family Sunday afternoon movie where the kids can go, oh, look at the cute little kangaroo. But obviously, you have some issues with it.
Well, no, because I've seen the 30 or 40 other movies that are better than this that this is ripping off. And frankly, you'd be better off spending that Sunday afternoon watching literally any other one of those. This is agonizingly bad. Like, this is cringe to the max. It is bad. The dialogue is bad. The story is so cloy and treacle-like and layered on so thick you want to vomit. I can't even say it's a particularly good-looking movie. I was mostly just bored for an hour and 47 minutes. And I'm sorry, there is not a family movie in history that needs to be an hour and 47 minutes long. You seriously going to tell me that your son would sit there for an hour and 47 minutes watching this? Seriously?
No, we'd struggle for the 47 minutes.
Exactly. Never going to happen. Bad. Just bad on every level. Badly directed, badly written, badly shot, badly performed. Everything about it is bad. I was actually envious of the kangaroos because at least they could hop the hell away. I was stuck there for the hour and 47 minutes. No. I mean, I will give this points purely for having a beginning, middle, and end because it damn sure does not have an original or engaging moment. Avoid this like the plague. It was so bad that when they sent me the email asking, like, hey, can we have your thoughts? I was like, I can't reply. I just can't reply to this. I won't. Because although publicists will merrily lie to me and do constantly, I won't lie to them. And no, I'd rather say nothing. It's like my mum always told me, if you've not got anything nice to say, don't say anything. Advice that she herself doesn't follow. But I just choose not to do it.
Well, if you want to completely ignore Van, just on the off chance to go and see it, you can, because Kangaroo is out in cinemas from today. I must admit, it's a bit of a rubbish title for a movie. That's
Best
as
of
far
luck,
as I'll go.
people. Anyone going? Best of luck. You're taking your own life in your hands. Do not come bitching to me.
Right, still to come. Next on Off Screen, we are going to look at Primate and the Wrecking Crew. Stay right where you are. Hello and welcome back to Off Screen then. Primate we shall look at in a moment, but right now we're going to dive into a new comedy which is on Prime Video, and it's called The Wrecking Crew. Van, it's over to you.
This is a buddy cop comedy. This is a buddy cop action comedy about two brothers, right? One's a cop, one's like a Navy diver SEAL type. The cop is played by Jason Momoa. The Navy guy is played by Dave Bautista. They are estranged brothers who reunite in Hawaii, effectively to solve the murder of their private eye dad. Do you know what? I don't think you need anything more than that. Here's a clip.
911, what is your emergency?
Shots fired on King and Alakea. Please send emergency services back up.
What the?
Gee, James, you still think it could be nothing?
You blew up my car. You blew up my car.
No, I blew up their car and then it landed on yours. They just blew up your car. You're welcome. Saved your life, man.
I mean, wow. The green room, while filming this film, must have had more protein in it than boots.
There's a line in the movie where someone says, I've got to get away from you two because you look like Dwayne Johnson effed Dwayne Johnson and had two kids.
Brilliant. I'm watching the trailer as you speak and I can totally see what they mean.
Yeah, it's very much... I mean, to be fair, the movie knows what it is, and it kind of makes it work. It's the best vehicle that Jason Momoa has had to date. As in, it's the first one that actually delivers on the supposed charisma that Jason Momoa has, which is something I've never actually seen. I mean, I'm a Stargate guy, which is where kind of Jason Momoa started. He started really on Stargate Atlantis. It was his second big role after Baywatch Hawaii, funnily enough, because he started at Baywatch Hawaii, moved over to Stargate Atlantis. So I know Jason Momoa can have charisma, but I've never seen it in a movie. Until now. They have finally found a way to actually create a character that really shows off what Jason Momoa is capable of. The charm, the swagger, all the stuff that, I think they thought that Aquaman would have, but really didn't. The only thing is that you've then got Dave Bautista kind of half asleep and phoning it in, because this is nowhere near Bautista's finest work, or even the top half of his finest work. But they do make a fun pairing. You've also got Morena Baccarin in there as Momoa's wife. You've got Tamara Morrison in there as the sort of state governor. And Jacob Batalon is the guy who made that Dwayne Johnson joke, by the way. Jacob Batalon is Ned in the Spider-Man series. Ned Leeds, Peter Parker's best mate now. I don't know why that's become a thing, but apparently now he goes everywhere with Ned Leeds. But I'm not going to nitpick the MCU, especially not the week they released Wonder Man and made me very happy. This is good fun. I mean, it kind of is a streaming movie, but I actually would have enjoyed this in cinemas. It is very wham, bam, thank you, ma'am action. Like, it's lantern-jawed, one-liner fueled fun. You know what you're getting, but it's quite brutal, though. There's some great one-liners, decent little chuckle, some soundtrack. There's a great sort of action set piece very early on with a naked Jason Momoa being attacked in his home and just absolutely demolishing an entire team of guys and his home in the process, that features maybe one of the best Wu-Tang references I've seen in a movie in years. But yeah, I say, as a streaming movie goes, this is actually pretty bang on. So I will say, if you're already on the Momoa train, this is unmissable stuff. If you need convincing on Momoa, check this out. Maybe not the best for the Bautista fam, because it's not really one of his finest. But in fact, as far as he goes, this is probably comparable to Stuba that he did with Kumail Nanjiani a couple of years ago. But yeah, I think this is actually kind of a banger for Amazon Prime.
Well, The Wrecking Crew is out on Amazon Prime Video right now, so you can go and watch it from the comfort of your own home for free if you already subscribe, of course. Right, next then, we're going to dive into another new movie in cinemas from today called Primate. The only thing I can kind of make out about this is it's a horror, obviously. I'm just kind of hoping it's not one of those typical, a bunch of teenagers drive to a forest and stay in a cabin and then boom, 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 something happens. Please tell me it's a bit more exciting than that.
Dude, it's a killer monkey movie. It's a freaking killer monkey movie.
Amazing. Amazing.
There's a monkey, he gets rabies, he kills people. That's the movie. Okay?
Oh my God.
It gets weirder. Like, obviously, there has to actually be a plot. So, a college-age girl returns home to her family home in Hawaii for the first time following the death of her mother to cancer. Her mother was a linguistics professor who was pioneering the field of enabling communication between humans and chimpanzees. As a result, the family has a pet chimpanzee named Ben. Ben, unbeknownst to the family, is bitten by a mongoose that breaks into his enclosure one night. A rabies-infected mongoose. And wouldn't you know it, Ben snaps. Have a listen.
There's someone I want you to meet. This is Ben.
My hand? He wants to shake my hand?
Yeah. Hi, Ben. Our mom rescued him, and now he's part of our family.
Ben, happy.
He's kind of cute. Yeah, right?
Ben?
Did something bite him?
Ben? There's something wrong with Ben.
Yeah, he's got rabies. I'm assuming that they didn't use a real monkey for this and it was CGI.
No. You would assume it's CGI, right? Right? It's either going to be CGI or a real monkey, right? No, it's a man in a suit, and it works.
Oh.
It actually works. Like, every now and again, I could tell. Like, every now and again, it just looked like I just could tell. But, right, okay, this is neither here nor there. Right. Let's talk about the quality of the film first. Every second of this 89... Sorry, check the runtime. Every second of this 89-minute film in which characters are running for their lives, fleeing in terror from a killer monkey is absolutely fantastic. And I mean it. 5-star stuff, like it's suspenseful, it's hyper-violent and gritty and visceral and gory. And then every second they're not running for their lives and trying to escape a killer monkey, you are exposed to some of the worst sub-2000s teen horror dross that you have ever seen. And I am talking about truly terrible dialogue. Like some of the worst dialogue I've seen in a movie this decade. Genuinely. This is dreadful stuff. But whenever... Ben's back on screen and he's trying to kill people, you're in. Like, you are so down. I mean, I honestly wish they would just edit out all the human stuff and just show us a montage of a killer monkey. Because, you got my money, son. I'm down. I really enjoy it. I mean, I had a great time watching it. It's a garbage movie for about a third of its runtime, but the other 2/3 are bloody brilliant. The only problem is, that's bloody brilliant, those 2/3 are. It's like that first third is so bad. Like, so bad. And I'm talking about, it's like me walking into a room with you and out of blue saying, oh, hey, good to see you, Adam, my friend I met in 2018 on that work assignment that time in that place. Like, people don't talk like or behave like this. What the hell are you doing? I mean, we counted 5 entire character arcs, like character-driven story arcs that were going on in the first half hour of this, that literally lead nowhere. Like, nowhere. Like, they at one point, they just drop them all and just go, screw it, we're going to kill a monkey now. You're like, yes, you had to kill a monkey all along, though. You didn't need to bore us first. Also, you know how all good horror movies have to have that cameo at the beginning? Where, like, Scream has to have Drew Barrymore show up at the beginning. Yeah, this has got one, right, straight, like, first second of the movie, and it's Rob Delaney. You know, like, comedian Rob Delaney from...
random.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the guy that gets the sort of big cameo at the beginning of this. And honest to God, the way that Rob Delaney exits this movie had me absolutely cackling with hysterical glee. And at that point, I was strapped in for 89 minutes. So you can imagine how annoyed I was by them actually following up that Rob Delaney scene with the absolute drivel that then comes out. Like, there's some truly terrible writing in here, but the killer monkey stuff is just awesome.
You've made me want to see it just to see the monkey, to be honest.
I want to go back. I genuinely want to go and see this again. Like, I had such a great time. Like, for better or worse, I had a blast. That's all. That's what I can say. You know, I enjoyed mocking it as much as I enjoyed riding along with it. Like, it's one of those. Say it's an 18, and it's quite a hard 18 when it gets going. You know, when Ben gets his hands on people, and there's some of the deaths in this. My God, you're gonna remember them. You're gonna like, they're gonna be incidents in this movie where if you ever hear of like someone like meeting a grisly end, you're like, oh my God, that sounds like that thing from Primate. Like, it's gonna become referenced. Like, there's one death in particular, like Rob Delaney. You're going to be referring to Rob Delaney's death in this movie for a long time.
Well, if you want to check it out, which I think I do now, Primate is in cinemas from today. Right, still to come then, we're going to look at, is this thing on Nouvelle Vague? Is it Vague or Vague?
Vague. Nouvelle Vague.
Nouvelle Vague, lovely. And next we're going to see what Van thought of the new movie called Shelter, which is out in cinemas from today. We'll check it out next. Hello and welcome back to Off Screen then, with more movies to talk about. We've got Is This Thing On to look at. We've got Nouvelle Vague in a bit. But right now, this is an action thriller, I think, by the name of Shelter, which is out in cinemas from today. That's pretty much all I know about it, to be honest.
I can tell, because otherwise you would no way have described it that way. You would have gone, it's the new Statham movie.
Oh, yeah, of course. And it's got Jason Statham in it. Yeah, of course.
Which is, talking about burying the bloody lead.
Well, I didn't want to give it away, you know. I thought you might like to do that.
It's the new Statham movie. Guess what? In this one, he's an ex-assassin. Tell me, stop if you've heard that before. Yeah, in this one, he's next. There is a line in the movie, no joke. I was sat with Mark Kermode in this screen. We're in the Covent Garden Hotel watching this, and at the point where Bill Nye, the villain of this one, says this line, the laughter was just infectious. We were all absolutely howling with laughter, and the line was, "He's not just an ex-assassin; he's a precision instrument." You're like, oh, of course he is, Bill. Of course he is.
God, he's been everything, right. Just be honest.
So, Jason Statham is an ex-assassin / former precision instrument who lives in self-imposed exile in a lighthouse on an island in the Outer Hebrides in Scotland. Right? He has a man and his niece who drive a boat up to him once a week and deliver supplies. That is his only contact with the outside world, just him and his dog. One day, the boat has an accident. The uncle is killed. He rescues the little girl. And as the little girl is being nursed back to health, he has to go into town for supplies. He's accidentally snapped on camera and caught and identified by an advanced AI algorithm known as Total Human Exercise something or other, and it abbreviates to THEA. This is a secret instrument that MI6 have apparently been using to monitor potential threats. They identify Statham, and before you know it, assassins and mercenaries are crawling out of the woodwork here, there, and everywhere, all to be taken on one by one by the Stath, just trying to get this girl out of harm's way. So have a listen. This is Shelter.
Mason was my greatest weapon. A prodigy, an assassin. You really think you can outrun what you are?
I want him taken in alive.
This is the only way I can keep you safe. You're gone. Not gone. Unshackled.
I love that it's an action thriller filmed in the UK, but whereabouts is it filmed? Where's it set?
Mostly, for the most part, it's Scotland. And then I think the third act is London. Right, so this is, on the surface of it all, pretty standard Jason Statham fare. Like, you know, it's a Statham movie. You kind of know what you're getting to an extent. But there are degrees of Statham movies. And this is one of the more sullen one of the more brooding, sullen ones. A lot more like Hummingbird or Safe, for instance, where he slightly dabbles more in the drama side of the character, even though he's, still ass-kicking like it's going out of fashion. That being said, it doesn't exactly disappoint on the dumb, fun, neck-snapping, bone-crunching action stakes either. I had a ball with it, naturally. It's not my favourite Statham. It's not even in my top 10 favourite Statham movies. You know me, I'm all about the Statham. I love me some Statham. But this is a movie where they really try and go for the real world of it all. And yet at one point, like Jason Statham, who really only has one way of delivering dialogue, is having a conversation in a nightclub whilst talking like this. Doesn't raise his voice or anything like that. And other characters can seemingly completely hear him. What's going on here? I came out of the movie, people are like, that was ridiculous. I'm like, no, the most ridiculous thing in the movie is the idea that anybody can hear Jason Statham at normal speaking volume in a freaking club. Like, really? It lets the side down a little bit towards the end. There are 2 deaths towards the end that are really short-changed. Like, the movie should have built more out of them and kind of doesn't. And you're getting nowhere near the same level of just joyous, gleeful, hyper-violent fun that you did with, for instance, The Beekeeper. And I think The Beekeeper is now the de facto Statham movie. I think that's kind of now going forward going to be the Statham movie. That's the one we're all going to refer back to now, is The Beekeeper. I think they're now Black Kites. The name of the assassins in this one are Black Kites. Because I think I wrote in my notes, Black Kites are the new beekeepers. But it's that kind of movie. But you know what? It's got Bill Nye as a villain. Naomi Aki's in there. Daniel Mays as well is in there. And I'm always happy to see Daniel Mays. And it's directed by Rick Roman War. I think W-A-U-G-H, War. Rick Roman War directs trashy action movies. That's kind of what he does now. I believe he was either a former stuntman or former VFX guy, but he notably directed the Gerard Butler Greenland movies. And I think he did Angel Has Fallen, the third one of the Gerard Butler Fallen series as well. So there's kind of a trash action lineage to this, but this really feels like Rick Roman War saying, I want to do a thoughtful one of these. And he delivers, I guess. But like I say, I'm mostly there for the bone-crunching fun. And you do get, 5 minutes of Statham attempting to thesp, although brooding his way through it, interspersed across this otherwise perfectly enjoyable film. Like a 3.5-star film.
Well, if you want your Statham fix, you can, because Shelter is out in cinemas from today. Right then, I always get this wrong. Nouvelle Vague. Vague?
Vague.
Right, I've got to go with the posh one. Nouvelle Vague. I'm guessing this is in French.
I mean, it is in French. It's written and directed by Richard Linklater, and it's his first movie not in English, I believe. Richard Linklater, if you're unfamiliar with him, is the director of the Before Sunrise, After Sunset, and whatever the third one was called, trilogy, Boyhood, weirdly School of Rock. Still can't figure that one out. He tends to direct kind of hipstery films, and when you actually see this movie, it kind of comes into focus for you. It starts to make sense. So, this is the story of Jean-Luc Godard. Do you know Jean-Luc Godard?
No, but he sounds like a French policeman.
It does a bit. Right, he is one of the iconic French New Wave film directors. Famously directed Breathless, one of the most legendary movies of all time. He came up with as part of the Cahiers du Cinéma crowd. They were the film publication, the original film critic publication of France, and all of their writers were becoming filmmakers. That was the idea. He was the last one of his group. Now, he set out to make Breathless, and along the way, it very quickly was discovered that he's actually kind of a psychotic perfectionist, but he's also brilliant. That's it. That's the plot of the movie. It's in black and white and French. It's called Nouvelle Vague. I don't have a clip for you, sadly. I was really queuing up a clip because I forgot we didn't have one. And yeah, that's the setup here. It's very obvious when you're watching it, though, that the reverence that Richard Linklater has for Jean-Luc Godard actually goes some ways to explaining Richard Linklater. As in, oh, this is what you've been trying to do for 40 years. Oh, 30 years. It all makes sense now. I see it now. In the same way that I would, if I were a filmmaker, I would be aspiring to be like Joss Whedon or Kevin Smith. This guy has been aspiring to be Jean-Luc Godard. It all makes sense now. Finally, I understand why the movie Boyhood exists. A movie that is so freaking pointless that I cannot fathom how... Never mind, I'm not going to go on a rant about Boyhood. I hate Boyhood. Now, unless you already, know of, love, and or adore both Jean-Luc Godard or the French New Wave, this movie will not be of any interest or appeal to you whatsoever. It is not engaging, it is not charming, it is not funny, despite the fact that a couple of the rather middle-aged, tweed-clad hipster types in my screening seemed to think they were watching American Pie. No. It simply has no grand universal appeal. I put my Letterboxd review of this on my Instagram this week, and I rated it 2 stars. Admittedly, I was harsh on it. But I swear, I was 5 minutes off getting actual death threats from film critics in there. I mean, I had them get to, "Are you insane? What's wrong with you?" I was bored. I'm not insane. I was bored. And I'd argue boredom and insanity, fine line. This is the movie that really tries to breach that line for me. It's kind of like Blue Moon. Like Blue Moon, you're like, oh, this really has no appeal to anyone who doesn't already know this story and, cares about this person. Outside of that, no. No, I can see why you'd make it, because clearly you'd want to win Oscars. But there's no other reason this movie would exist unless you, the person making it, happen to suckle at the teat of the person you are depicting on screen, which very much seems to be the case. I won't call it the worst Richard Linklater movie because, again, Boyhood exists, but it damn sure ain't the best, and it's not one I will... It's not a movie full stop that I ever will watch again. I hated it. I was so goddamn bored.
Well, Nouvelle Vague is out in cinemas from today.
Did my anger make you get it right?
Yeah, I was thinking I better get this right now. He's angry already. I don't want to make him any more angry. Right, so we have one more movie to look at. It's called Is This Thing On? And then we'll talk about Film of the Week and have a look at what we've got coming up next week. So stay right where you are. Hello and welcome back to our final ride on Offscreen this week. So we are diving into a comedy. Is This Thing On? I'm assuming it's a comedy.
It's a dramedy. I would say it's a dramedy. It's very much, because it delivers equal parts drama and comedy.
Good.
For a very specific reason on the comedy, because, this stars Will Arnett. Alongside Laura Dern. They are a married couple going through a separation at what seems to be the tail end of their marriage. He has moved out, and one night after sending her home to the kids, putting her on the train kind of thing and sending her home to the kids, they've been at a friends gathering kind of thing, he's wandering the streets of New York, and he happens upon a very specific comedy club, a stand-up comedy club, where instead of paying the door charge, which is $15, he elects to get in for free by simply going on stage and trying it out. And he discovers that not only is he someone that the audience quite responds to, but he finds a kind of catharsis in it. It becomes his therapy. And so he starts going back week on week and actually pursuing it as a sort of secondary life for himself as a stand-up comic, something that he keeps, initially at least, from pretty much everyone in his life, his family, his parents, his kids, his friends, everything like that, as he builds this life as a stand-up comic and starts to rediscover himself. I'll tell you what, I'm going to play the clip before I tell you why this story is actually mind-blowing. Enjoy.
I've been doing this for 25 years, you know what I mean? And I love it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But what I like about you is you're so innocent. You're not naive, you're innocent. And that's why it works. So that's good. It comes out of your head, you put it on a piece of paper, and you get up there. It's like therapy. But people can relate to that.
I don't know what it is, but I just do know that coming here has ended up making me feel...
Yeah, it's a safe space.
Well, a lot better.
You are good. I mean, you're bad at stand-up, but you're good. You have a good heart. You seem like a pure... Like, I believe you that you just found this thing, and now you're in love with stand-up.
Other than the fact that I'm really insulted, thank you.
You're bad. You're really bad.
Okay.
Do you know, the one thing I can notice from that bit you just played is it sounds like it's filmed more like a documentary than it is a movie.
Whenever they are actually, well, whenever possible, actually, it is actually shot in a very verite style. There's a lot of over-the-shoulder kind of handheld stuff. The camera moves. You are an observer in the room. Like, it really kind of feels like it's done to make it feel like quite an intimate film. And given the subject matter, that makes a lot of sense. Now, let me just get to the big thing with this, because I didn't know, and it blew my mind. Right. I didn't know until I got to the end of the film and the credits rolled that this movie is written by, or at least co-written by, and based on the life of John Bishop, of our comedian, John Bishop. That this is how... I know John Bishop. I've watched John Bishop for 15 years minimum at this stage. I did not know that this is how he had gotten in stand-up. I think I'd learned something through one of his stand-up shows once. He'd made some reference to it, and I'd kind of forgotten it. My mum's a bigger fan than me. I told her about this movie. She's like, oh yeah, that is the story. I read his book. That's how he got into it. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's actually a brilliant movie. It's directed by Bradley Cooper. That's where this gets odd. Bradley Cooper also co-stars in this. He's one of the sort of supporting characters, one of the friends. This would be, by my count, his third movie as director. I think it's Star is Born, the god-awful conductor, well, Maestro, and then this. So let's pretend Maestro never happened, and the man might actually have something resembling a spotless record. But this is actually brilliant. I did not expect it. I was kind of apprehensive about this. And yet, within about half an hour, you are very firmly on the train that this might well easily be the best movie ever made about stand-up comedy. As in the actual exploration of the act of physical, the process of it, of what it takes to go through with it, about what you're putting yourself through to get it out. Like, I thought this was really powerful. And I think it's something very different for Will Arnett as well, because Will Arnett tends to be quite an animated comedian. You know what I mean? Like, Will Arnett, there's a whole, like, percentage of the population that think of Will Arnett as Lego Batman. You know what I mean? I think of him as primarily he's the guy from Arrested Development and the villain from Blades of Glory and 30 Rock. He's Devon Banks in 30 Rock. So there is this idea of Will Arnett and kind of what he's capable of. And this is him really stepping out of his comfort zone. It's worth noting that if you know anything about the life of Will Arnett and the fact that he's gone through a not insignificant number of very sizable relationship endings in his life, I have to imagine that he really went through some stuff on this, because I don't see how he wouldn't. But it seems to fuel the performance. The performance is great. Laura Dern as his wife as well. I thought that was quite an interesting turn as well. This kind of plays like Marriage Story with laughs. Like Marriage Story with a sense of humor, which I didn't know the world was crying out for until now, but hell yeah, take my money. I'm all in on this. I absolutely loved this. I think it's well shot. I think it's well staged, well paced. I think it's just a hair over 2 hours. It's 2 hours one, just a hair over 2 hours. And it breezed by. It absolutely breezed by. I checked my watch once just because I was really enjoying myself. I thought, oh, please don't tell me this is nearly over. And it was only an hour in. And I thought, oh, brilliant. Oh, fantastic. I want another hour of this. Yes. That words I never thought I'd say in my life. Please, Bradley Cooper, give me more. Is not a thing I ever thought I would say aloud, but yes, is a thing I said to myself during this. I was a very big fan of this. Can't recommend it highly enough. I think it's one of those films that would work better if you're possibly over 40. I think if you're someone who has kind of given up dreams, especially to you've given up your childish dreams to be serious and have the married life and all that stuff. It's a kind of movie that speaks to that yearning. And as such, it kind of works as a kind of wish fulfillment fantasy in that way as well. But as a down and dirty kitchen sink dramedy that genuinely brings you the drama and comedy of the dramedy, I think this is an absolute banger. This is full on, 2 thumbs up, 5-star brilliance. I absolutely loved this.
I would have just loved to have been there when John Bishop got a call from Bradley Cooper, because they're 2 people you just wouldn't put together.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird to think of, isn't it? It's weird to think of. I think the script is... I think it's Cooper, Arnett, and John Bishop have written the script together. So I really want to be a fly on the wall in one of them meetings. Because,
hell yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you've sold it to me. I'm a big fan of John Bishop, so I really want to watch this so that I can kind of find out about his past and how he got to where he did. So if you are thinking the same, Is This Thing On is in cinemas from today. Right then, movie of the week this week. This is a difficult one. I can't call it.
Oh, I'm giving it to that Is This Thing On.
Okay,
I think it's so good. And I didn't stop thinking about it. In fact, up until I saw Primate, I didn't stop thinking about Is This Thing On? And Primate, I wasn't necessarily thinking good things about. I was thinking about it. They weren't necessarily all good things. But, you know what I mean? Is This Thing On, though? But it tells you a lot about how I found Is This Thing On by the fact that every single time I passed an ad for it on, like when I'm getting the train or whatever, or it's on the bus or something like that. Every single time I've passed the poster for it, I look at it, I've looked at it and smiled, and if I've been with someone, I've gone, you're going to want to see that, it's fantastic. I got in touch with Case, he used to present this show with me, and he and his wife are very big American comedy, like stand-up people. And I got in touch with Case, and I went, but just so you know, Is This Thing On is the most Case and Cassie coded movie I've seen in a long time. And he's like, do you know, we thought that from how it looks. Yeah, we'll go and see that. Thank you. I'm like, cool. Definitely.
Excellent. All right, well, let's have a sneaky peek to next week then, before we disappear. So what have we got to look forward to? Anything big?
Well, I'll save the biggies for last. I'll get the ones I know nothing about first of all. So the Chronology of Water, which I think stars Imogen Poots and I believe might be directed by Kristen Stewart. That's out next week. One that I have seen, a Nigerian film called My Father's Shadow, is next week, and that is really something to talk about. The Strangest Chapter 3. I swear it's only been 20 minutes since we talked about The Strangest Chapter 2.
Feels like it.
Feels like it, right? I am sure it's at most been 6 months. It can't even have been 6 months. I'm sure I saw... We had
the end of the summer.
It must have been September, October when we did number 2, because I went to the Ham Yard Hotel and they had like actors dressed as the killers mixing with the crowd and intimidating people. It was a brilliant screening. Less so a brilliant movie, admittedly, but it was a great screen. The food was amazing. You know what I mean?
That's all that matters.
The catering was next level. We have also got... There were a lot of cocktails drunk that night, put it that way.
I remember your Insta story.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes. There were the bloody cocktails, yes.
Yeah.
We've also got Hamlet next week, not to be confused with Hamnet. Hamlet, starring Riz Ahmed. This is a contemporary / modern day set adaptation of Hamlet, because I don't think has anyone attempted that one yet? I know we did it with Othello a few years, like 20 years ago, with Josh Hartnett, but and Coriolanus, obviously, with Ray Fiennes and Gerard Butler, but I think this might be a first for Hamlet. I've never seen a modern Hamlet, so this will be an interesting one. But of course, the biggie that I'm waiting for next week, other than, of course, naturally finally getting to see Melania, because how could I ever miss out on a documentary made by a man of such completely non-criminal esteem? Yeah, I'm not talking about Donald Trump, by the way. I am actually talking about the director. Please do look him up. Genuinely. But of course, the biggie that I'm looking forward to is the return of one of my very favourite directors. We're talking about the man who more or less invented 80s horror. Sam Raimi is back. So, the director of Evil Dead, Darkman, Simple Plan, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Drag You to Hell, Sam Sodding Raimi.
Wow.
He's back next week. And he's making his first R-rated horror movie in, I think it's 18 years. It might be 18 years. It's called Send Help. and it stars Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams. He is the very unlikable boss. She is the put-upon personal assistant. They have a plane crash on a remote island. He is injured. She is not. And she's going to get her revenge. That's the movie. I am desperate to see. I'm seeing this Monday morning. I cannot wait.
I really hope he doesn't disappoint you, Van. I really hope.
I mean, I don't know if she... I mean, from the trailer, it looks like she hacks his leg off or something. I don't know. I'm just really... it looks like Misery. It looks like Misery Grows Tropical. So, yeah.
Well, we will find out what Van thinks to that one, Send Help, next week. But, of course, that is all we have time for this week on Off Screen. Until next week, I've been Adam Ball.
I've been Van Connor. Keep it cinematic, and we shall return.